Musicians Viewpoints. This podcast is by and for local musicians in all localities. I'm your host, Kevin Ronkko.
Hey, once again, my name is Kevin Ronkko, and this is Musicians Viewpoints, and I'm really excited to be hosting this podcast for y'all. And a lot's happened. It's been a crazy, busy summer. Had quite a few gigs. I got to play. Most recent gig I had was last weekend. Actually, two gigs. One with the Gustos at the market in Salem. That was a fun gig. Won the crowd over there. People had a good time. Got to play drums with them. Big show. And with a little Steppenwolf, and then a little Hank Williams on the way out. The crowd loved it. We always do a long set with the Gustos whenever we get to play. That's a fun band. And then, really enjoy Stevie singing, Stevie Gusto, Paul on guitar, great. Paul DeBali on guitar. Working with Corby on the bass a little bit there. It's going pretty well. And then on last Sunday, early morning, played the Portland Marathon with Sam, Sweet Sam. So Sweet Sam band, just the two of us at that gig. But we were making a lot of great sounds, playing for the runners. Some of those, you can see little clips of some of the stuff I've been doing on my YouTube channel. Just probably if you type in Kevin Ronkko on the YouTube channel, you'll pull up my channel. Also, get to hear some of my original compositions, which, by the way, I'll put my newest one called Walk Away From That Hole. My new hit song. Actually, it is getting a lot of hits on YouTube, so check that one out. I'm trying to combine electronic music and real instrumentation more and more, those two worlds combining. So that's like a companion. I do like to collaborate with other musicians, but I also find collaborating with the technology equally good. A lot of times it has its own ideas of what's not going to work, what will work. Kind of have to go along with that. It's much like playing in a band. Some stuff works, some doesn't. You make adjustments, and you keep on going. Keep it professional. Try not to let things bother you, stuff like that. So anyway, a lot of exciting stuff's happening. Speaking of writing original music, got some lyrics here for my newest tune I'm working on. I'll give you a glimpse of what I'm writing. This one I've got labeled as Gloom Doom. Here, how do you know what results come from a war? Will the results turn out different than before? Smell the disease, see the destruction, calculate what's been lost. Y'all keep drinking the sauce, but what's the cost? So there's my first verse. I don't know if that needs a lot of editing. That's pretty good. Anyway, that's not the song I'm going to play later. I'll walk away from that hole, which I do cite a little burning ring of fire in there just for the little trip down memory lane there. But I don't sing Burning Ring of Fire. I just kind of mention it a little bit there in the second or third verse, wherever I put it in there. So you'll hear that. That'll be at the end of the podcast. So I know I've got a couple people who've already agreed to be on future podcasts. So season 4 already has a couple guests planned. Definitely Flooded Cellar are going to come back. I know they've got a new keyboard player, so they'll probably be excited to talk to me about that. That's my Uncle Dennis's band, Flooded Cellar. And then I know Ed Prop said he'd be interested in doing another one sometime. So we'll get that. I'm hoping to have some of the musicians I work with currently on. Some other people said they turned me down in the first season, but I'm going to reach out to them. Now we're in season 4. So we'll see if we get some of those people on. I'm sure they have exciting stories to tell about their gigging adventures over the years. Music that's really excited them, What makes them tick? We want to know. What keeps them going? What keeps you going? Why do you keep pursuing music? So we like to find these things out on Musicians Viewpoints. Why do we keep doing it? It's definitely not the same as it was when I started out back in the, and believe it or not, mid to 80s. When I started my adventure with music, been full-time many times. Right now, it doesn't make sense to be a full-time musician for me. My day job, with cost of everything, makes a lot of sense. When it comes time to buy those groceries, I'm glad I'm not using the gig money for that. But anyway, I still charge a fee because it does keep it professional, and I think that is important. But I love music. I love playing music. I love collaborating with people, and I think it's important. Build that community, keep the community going, bring it to the next generation. That's why I'm also starting to do a little more teaching or thinking about it. I've also taught full-time in my lifetime, drums and percussion. But again, it's all when you're depending on this as a living, it's makes things sometimes too interesting and too much dependency on that funding coming from music, especially when you doing things like this. They don't seem to pay off when the Spotifys of the world don't really give 2 cents about us, and basically they don't even give us the 2 cents. It's just not there. So those are the kinds of things too that we talk about on Musicians Viewpoints. That why do we keep doing it when it's when money's very limited? Although I've been fortunate, I have had some really good paying gigs. Even post-pandemic, even during the pandemic, I had the fortune of having some gigs, some of which I booked myself. Other people booked things. But yeah, it's a combination. But anyway, getting back to this podcast, I am looking for more guests, and I find people interesting, and I think that our voices are important to share, and I like this format. It's a format where, the beauty of podcasts are that we can literally talk for hours, and people will listen for hours, which I think is really important in a world where, everyone's doing TikTok videos and they can't seem to watch the video more than 30 seconds before clicking on to the next video. I mean, to me, that's strange, but that is the world we currently live in. People's attention spans are really run thin, but the podcast world is different. It does challenge us to listen for, I've even seen some podcasts go like 8 hours. I'm like, oh my God, who can listen to a podcast for 8 hours? But there's the challenge. Get us out of our short attention span to 30 seconds. Come on. So, yeah. Put on that podcast. Go for a walk. Put your headphones on. Listen to Musicians Viewpoints. I've been keeping mine about an hour at the most, but this one's probably going to be a little shorter because it's just me talking today. I don't like doing the solo ones as much, but to admit, I kind of took a break because I got discouraged. I mean, one of the things when you host a podcast is you get a lot of cancellations. Hard to juggle people's schedules. I know I've heard other podcast people say, well, no, I just don't even bother with that because it's just, my ego can't take it. I can't take the cancellations. But no, I don't really, I've learned to, put my ego aside for the sake of the art. Being a little older now, I won't reveal my age, but yeah, it's definitely at a point where I can't call myself young anymore. Let's put it that way. So the tune I'm going to play in a little bit is called "Walk Away from That Hole," and I don't really sing on it yet. I would like to add some more vocal layers, but my time is very limited a lot of the time. So I was able to at least get one vocal track on there that came out pretty well. But yeah, I do envision more vocal tracks. Maybe I'll do another mix of it in a while. I did 3 mixes of this before I found one that I really thought was the one, mix 3. But yeah, I'm looking forward to mix 4 on it when I get around to it. But like I said, I'm writing another song, Gloom Doom. I read you those lyrics. So after I do this podcast, I'm going to be practicing drums because right now one of my things is I feel like when I do get to play with the bands, I'm kind of struggling a little bit. I do like to play on the edge, but that edge for me right now is a little bit closer to on the side of, I used to be that guy who could play anything just about because I was practicing all the time. And, you get older, you get busy, you don't have as much time to practice. But I'm an advocate for practicing, so I have to, put my money where my mouth is there, or put my time in on that one again. So, I mean, the pandemic, I basically, like a lot of people, didn't see the point. I didn't see the point. So I wasn't practicing that much. I was playing congas a bit, hand percussion stuff, because that was kind of the mood I was more in. But now I'm back on kit, playing kit with bands. Kind of moved away from the jazz realm a bit because, let's be honest, it's a lot of pressure to be a jazz drummer. There's so many. I mean, jazz is the ultimate art form for a drummer, no question. But to go around, I'm a jazz drummer. It's just a lot. When I honestly, country music, rock and roll, funk, blues, psychedelic, whatever. All these forms of music, and my original stuff too, are equally challenging, and you don't have the snobbery around it. Like the jazz scene around here is just so snobbish, to be honest. And again, I'm not naming any names or talking about specific people because I don't do that. I don't talk about people behind their backs. I might say something to their face they might not like, but those are conversations that sometimes happen. And, you're in business with people, so sometimes, feathers get ruffled, and mine do from people too, sometimes. But mostly we all get along. It's a really good scene, and I want to talk to some more people on this podcast. One of the things, I don't live in Portland. I live a couple miles away from Portland, and a good commute to Salem and Eugene. So all the major cities I have to drive to. So this podcast is a great way to bring people closer without the driving. So I love that about technology, is that I can, we're having lousy weather outside or something. I'm in here. I'm going to work on the podcast today. I'm going to interview, be me and my uncle, or my Uncle Dennis, or Ed, or who knows. I'd like to get my old friends from Free Treats on here. That'd be fun. I haven't spoken to Sean and Eric forever. That'd be fun. Had Nate on here, podcast. That's season 1. Wonder how he's doing. Haven't heard from him in a while. So yeah, I'm looking, and a lot of people turned me down season 1. So, but they said maybe. So season 4 now, folks. I haven't forgotten. I'm going to be reaching out to people. Get on here. So we'll keep it short. I feel like I've been talking about myself a little bit too much. So with that in mind, here's the new tune, Walk Away from That Hole. I made it in Reason, and I recorded the vocals in Pro Tools, and then combined the two. And I'm going to be doing more of that kind of thing where I'm combining realms, because like I said, the digital The technology is, I find that a great collaborator, along with the people I work with too. Always look forward to seeing all those people, playing music with them. So that will continue, and I do hope we get a bunch of people on here for the next season. I'm just starting to book it out now. Please, please, please check out my YouTube channel, see what the most recent work I've been doing is, and check out this song, Walk Away From That Hole. Enjoy.
man walks